Hey everybody, it's Barb Cape, President of SEIU-West, and we're at the end of provincial election week, but the election cycle has not ended. November 9th is a voting day for civic elections all across the province. So whether you're in Leader or you're in a rural municipality or you're in Moose Jaw or Regina or Larange, now is still the time to vote. And I think civic elections are really important because those are the places where the meat and potato decisions are made. Things like, do we invest in our water treatment plant? Or where are we going to improve the roads? Or what are the bylaws that are going to govern our communities related to residential versus business applications? So, I know that people are probably at the point where they're getting sort of election fatigue, but you can't lift your foot off the gas because we need to make sure that we're putting people in power in our towns and municipalities and our cities that are actually going to do good things that are really tangible for us to see as we look out our front windows. So November 9th, civic election day all across Saskatchewan. So make sure that you're doing your homework, you're looking up who the candidates are and whether or not they actually stand for what you believe in, and then hold their feet to the fire for the next 4 years. Because that's how we see change, that's how we see progress, is when people actually listen to their constituents and do what is expected of them. Now, the provincial election, I'm going to be frank and say that it wasn't a result that I necessarily was thrilled with. And it's not me telling people how to vote, it's me looking at, how does democracy work? And I believe a strong democracy has a strong opposition and a strong government. And so I'm hopeful that we're going to see some good legislation, some good policy, and some good conversations with the Sask Party government. I remain hopeful as ever. We have continued to work with the Sask Party government since 2007, and we'll continue to do that. You got to work with the government in power, and that's what our members expect us to do. That being said, we've seen a lot of de-investment in public services in this province. And I commit that we're going to do everything we can as a union and me as a human being to make sure that we are holding this government to account, that we're holding the NDP opposition to account, and that we're looking at a better way to engage with the people who live and work and raise their families in rural Saskatchewan. I think that, it's important for people to know that the people of this province are not a strategy, we're not a demographic, we're people who are raising our families, and, we want a good, strong government that will represent all of us. And so, it's my intention that SEIU-West is going to make sure that our members' voices are heard at every table where the decisions are being made, so that, frontline workers' issues are part of the solution in pulling this province forward. Now, this week is Healthcare Providers Week. And so we have a proclamation from the Ministry of Health. And this is a moment in all of the chaos and drama and pandemic confusion for us to just take a moment to pause and celebrate how incredible frontline healthcare workers are in this province. There is not a damn thing that happens in a healthcare facility, whether it's home care, whether it's community care, whether it's long-term care or acute care, nothing happens without healthcare providers being a part of it. And I know that there are times where you think, well, nobody gives a crap what I think, and you need to know that that's not true. Driving home from Saskatoon or driving to Moose Jaw, I am thinking about the trades and maintenance guys who work at RUH. This union is thinking about continuing care aides and how important they are and what can we do to lift up their voices. This union is trying to figure out how do we address licensing issues for licensed practical nurses and technologists all across this province. We're trying to figure out how do we support our combined lab and x-ray techs who work in rural Saskatchewan and get staffing in place and get equipment in place so you can do your best work. This union celebrates healthcare providers every single day. You are the reason we get up in the morning, and you are the beating heart and soul of this healthcare system. And don't you ever forget that. So as we wind down this week, make sure you pause and recognize yourself and your coworkers just for an incredibly strong presence in a response to a pandemic. This could not have been as well done as it is without frontline healthcare providers. So on behalf of SEIU-West, on behalf of the people of this province, salut, tip of the hat, and thank you all very much. Take care.